Are you guys endangering your lives?
Really? All right, guys, good morning. Who's ready for some Around the Horn? All right, today we have 3 contestants in Around the Horn. First of all, Mr. Chandler Ross, ladies and gentlemen. In the top left corner, Mr. Ethan Butner. And finally, the Queen returns. Anna Davidson is here. Our 4th person was going to be Phil Wagner. His parents were in a car wreck last night. They're okay, but it ended up being a super late night. He had to help them out, and so he had to bow out last minute. So there you go. So 3 contestants. So guess what, guys, and Around the Horn, your chances got a little bit better when Phil leaves the competition. It is anybody's game. Today in the Horn, running up that hill. You want to hear a little bit more of this? Alexa, your undead assistant, and R2 detained. 10 topics, 4 contestants, and a whole lot of fun here in Around the Horn. Let's go! Make some noise, people! Let's go! Here we go. It's time for...
It's the first word.
Grand theft charges and obstruction by false information after he allegedly donned a Disney name tag and attempted to steal a Star Wars R2-D2 statue worth up to $10,000. The man said he applied for a Disney World security job and wanted to move the items to point out security lapses in hopes of getting a better paying position. He allegedly told police it wasn't his goal to take the items from Disney World, although when they went to his home, they revealed thousands of dollars worth of items that he had taken from the theme park. Here at Around the Horn, we do not condone stealing in any kind of way, but what would be the coolest Disney World prop to have in your home? Let's start with Ethan. Let's go.
Hello? Okay.
There you go. You know what? You get 2 points for turning it on. Good job.
Alright, so whenever I first read this question, the first thing that popped in my mind was that bronze Mickey statue outside the Castle of Magical Kingdom. But I was like, that's too boring for my house. So then I thought of Darth Vader's lightsaber, Thor's hammer. But if I got Darth Vader's lightsaber, I would hurt myself and I couldn't pick up Thor's hammer, so those wouldn't be good for me. And then it hit me. My favorite Disney movie is Cars. So I would argue one of the coolest things at Disney World to have has 750 horsepower V8 engine, can go to 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, and has a top speed of 200 miles per hour. His name is Lightning McQueen, Rusty's Bumper Cream's pride and joy. Having Lightning McQueen in my possession, I could enter him in the NASCAR and make money off that. I could drive him around town and get girls and stuff like that. What couldn't I do with a Lightning McQueen?
That's how we do it. Welcome to the game. All right, Anna.
I just want to say that if he's hoping to get girls, then Tomater is obviously his best bet. I love a southern accent. Anyways, so hear me out on this. You're going to be like, what? But then you'll be like, oh, obviously this makes sense. So I'm thinking the animatronic Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Why? Johnny Depp has been known to dress up and pretend to be the animatronic on the ride and surprise guests. What a sweet guy. So I could accidentally bring home Johnny Depp, and I think he'd be a neat guy to be around. He doesn't poop the bed, and we could talk about his most famous movies, obviously including his starring role in the animated film Sherlock Gnomes with Emily Blunt and Ozzy Osbourne, and I can't think of any others. But I think it'd be cool to have Johnny Depp around the house.
Cameron.
I don't know if y'all ever heard about this, but it is believed by many that after Walt Disney died, that his body was frozen and he's still actually alive. He's just in cryosleep and he's buried under the Magic Kingdom. So you know what I'm doing from Disney? I'm digging up the Magic Kingdom. I'm taking Walt Disney's frozen body home, putting it in my house, put it on display, and make millions of dollars off it. Then it gets better. I'm going to take him out of cryosleep, recruit him for the MJYG, so he can bring all of his great marketing and ideas to this youth group. Yeah!
Important. All right, let's go to the next one. This is nothing to marvel at. Much time has passed since Marvel has produced a superhero film worth watching. And even Spider-Man No Way Home was a Sony release. Morbius, Eternals, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder. What are we even doing anymore? Is it time to stop making Marvel movies? And if not, what will be the next right Marvel movie? Chandler?
I'm going to go ahead and say that Marvel needs to stop right now. I think that ever since Avengers Endgame, they've been milking every movie they can, milking every penny out of all of us Marvel fans, and trying to steal every last dollar from us. It's the same concept for every movie, basic, low-tier, surface-level villain with hardly any plot, conquered in one movie over, move on to the next movie, continue milking the formula. There's nothing to lead up to it anymore. There's no more Avengers to lead up to. It's all over. They need to stop now. Everything they made beyond Avengers has been trashed.
All right, Anna.
I gotta agree with Chan because I feel the same way about the onslaught of Marvel movies as I do about
That specific spot in the wall being a hole. So I'm tired of seeing it, and it's just not entertaining anymore. That hole used to match the charming character of the bullet hole in the window in the Commons, the old janky doors that alerted you of sinners arriving late to class, and the broken stained glass window. Now it just doesn't match, and I'm ready to move on. Similarly, all of these Marvel stories just aren't cohesive or charming anymore. They don't make one solid narrative. Instead, we need to capitalize on an untapped market. The Josh Lanius Cinematic Universe, or JLCU. It covers all genres, including montage, retreat videos, horror, Philip's The Worst videos, and comedy, any video starring Albert England. I think this would bring in millions of dollars for the youth group that we could direct back into important things like service projects or fixing that one janky hole in the wall.
The one responsible for the janky hole. Actually, not that one. It's the other one, right? You're not responsible for that hole, right?
Not that one, no.
Okay, that's a Brett.
Kirby.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Bud.
But like they said, I couldn't agree more. Disney has made a killing off these movies, but all great things must come to an end, and it's time for Disney to stop making Marvel movies. The only thing worse than these past few movies are Chandler's nasty white Crocs. If you take a look at the box office income from Morbius, Eternals, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, they have made a combined $1.5 billion, which may seem like a lot of money, but but Captain Marvel, which is arguably the worst Marvel movie of the MCU, the original MCU, made $1.1 billion from the box office, which if you do the math, three movies combined for just over $400,000, which to one below mid movie. And after these stats, I think it's obvious that Disney should move on from Marvel and create something new.
Buckner bringing the statistics. I like the math. All right, let's move on. Goodwill lifting. A recent visit to Goodwill got interesting. Oh wait, I think I put something in the wrong spot. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I messed it up. Hold on a second. I think I took that off. I'm sorry. All right, is it time? Y'all have the camp one?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. All right, so WKYC continues to improve camp every year. We come back and there's little things that get better. This year, a game changer were the new cabins on the boys' side. Right, boys? If you guys were in charge of the camp and we could roll back in next year and an upgrade was made, what would you do to make the campground even better? Let's start with Anna.
So I almost said at a Buc-ee's, but I went there yesterday and I'm scared of Buc-ee's now. I wasn't before, but it's just unnerving. Anyways, so I think a Chick-fil-A for an infinite number of reasons. First, obviously, eat more chicken. Second, can you imagine how efficient camp would be if it was run by Chick-fil-A employees? I'd never have to touch a suitcase or walk down to a baptism again because I know those employees would offer piggyback rides with kids' meals. And chicken minis for canteen, oh my goodness. The slushy machine would be functioning every single time you wanted one. I think it'd have the power of the Holy Spirit in it too. And we all need more Jesus. And logistically, having a closer Chick-fil-A would save time for superstar team celebrations, and the revenue could go back into the camp so that we'd stop getting letters in the mail asking us to donate even more money. And might even bring David Shannon back. I don't know if we want him back, but if anyone does, it's a possibility. And I'm just getting a little emotional.
All right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Alright, I think Anna's answer is very plain, milquetoast, boring, the most boring thing you possibly say. Wow, Chick-fil-A, because everyone loves it. Yeah, I see your open jaws. Yeah, no way. Who would have thought to answer Chick-fil-A? So I'm going to give you something a little more unique that would actually be practical and useful. Might I add an insult to John White to kick him out of the kitchen to put Chick-fil-A, a giant corporation, in there. But anyway, I would like to add permanent clown ball nets. Permanent clown ball noodles. Yeah. Instead, every time we play clown ball, you got Mike Dimensi just laying face down in the noodle, or you got people just laying on the noodle, bending the noodle back. We need permanent, structured plastic noodles that can stay the same. The goals will remain unchanged, and it will immortalize the beautiful sport that is clown ball for Mount Juliet, for WKYC forever. That would be my addition to camp.
I like it. All right, Buckner.
Boo me all you want.
Okay, bud.
Whenever I think of things that we could improve at camp, not many things comes to mind, but there is one thing that I hate at camp. It's the lunch line. Lunch line takes 30, 40 minutes, and it seems to get longer every day in every meal that we're there. So I was thinking maybe we could put a conveyor belt or something like that, like at the airport, to push the line through faster, and have maybe plates pre-made for us so that we could just walk up and grab them, and while we're being pushed to the conveyor belt and flying through there and all that. So yeah.
All right, let's have a quick little scoring update. In the lead right now is Chandler with 18 points, Anna with 17, and Buck with 15. It's still anybody's game.
Buy or sell.
Buy or sell. Hot diggity dog. Joey Chestnut ate 63 hot dogs in 10 minutes, winning the Independence Day hot dog eating contest, and also managed to down a protester on his way to his 15th title. Are you buying or selling that Joey Chestnut is an athlete? Are you buying or selling that Joey Chestnut is an athlete? Buckner.
Philip, take my money. I am buying this. There is never and will never be someone more dominant in their sport than Joey Chestnut is in professional eating. While he threw a protester to the ground while eating hot dogs, he was also on one foot recovering from an Achilles injury that he got hurt in December. And he still did all of that, stopped a protester, 1 foot, and was chowing down hot dogs, won by 15 and a half hot dogs. While he won in dominant fashion, he was still 13 hot dogs off his record that he set last year. Chestnut has won 15 of the last 16 Nathan hot dogs eating contests on July 4th. He's the goat of competitive eating. Michael Jordan is the Joey Chestnut of basketball, and Tom Brady is the Joey Chestnut of football.
I think sport is, the first thing is it includes an element of competition, which obviously competitive eating does. The second thing is that it should not rely on any key element of luck. And the final thing, it should not rely on equipment provided only to be a single supplier. So I think by that definition, competitive eating covers all the bases. And I think that any of you guys would be fools to say that those men and women up there who are swallowing hot dogs by the hundreds do not have skill. That is a certain skill set. And I think it should be glorified, exemplified, and lifted up. I want competitive eating on ESPN. I want him talked about more. I want Joey Chestnut in a Hall of Fame, and I want him to be the first.
All right, Anna.
I just think it's interesting that we asked Chandler to speak
Speak on athleticism, since he clearly can't handle pool noodles and clown ball as the Lord intended. If freshman girls can, then I don't see why it's a problem for Chan Chan. Anyways, I'm buying it. I think he's an athlete, but we need to tread lightly because according to Merriam-Webster, a much more reputable source for definitions than whatever Chandler spewed, an athlete it has two definitions. One, a person who's trained or skilled in exercises, sports, or games requiring physical strength, agility, or stamina. And two, an animal, such as a horse or a dog, that competes in races or other sporting events or has qualities such as stamina and agility suggestive of a human athlete. And I do think Joey Chestnut is an animal that competes in races requiring strength and stamina. However, we need to tread lightly because considering him an athlete cracks open the door to lauding all kinds of wingnuts on their athleticism. And I had these insults written down beforehand, so I'm gonna say them anyway, even though half of the people here just can't commit. Like Chandler and the world's longest prayer in Arabic, or the worst remix of a VBS song, Vacation. Cam and the most times you can beat a child with a pool noodle, or Phil and the single most attempts at Ocean's mashup in human history. This is a slippery slope and we need to tread lightly.
For the next thing, Taylor Swift has had more than 200 songs to her name, and now there's a millipede. Derek Hinnon, an entomologist who completed his PhD at Virginia Tech in 2020, discovered a millipede species and named it in Swift's honor. According to a paper published Friday in the journal Zookeys, the species is called Nanaria swifti, or vernacularly, the swift twisted claw millipede. Are you buying or selling that it's flattering to have a species of millipede named after you, Buckner?
I'm selling this. If Derek Hannon wanted to have a love story with Taylor, I can think of 22 different things that he could have done to flatter Taylor Swift. He should have said no to himself whenever he thought of this, because all he'll do is put teardrops on a guitar from how weird it would be to have a millipede named after you. So I think that Derek Hannon should shake it off and go back to December, where he found this millipede, and give it a name with more style to fix his reputation, so that there's no bad blood between him and Taylor Swift.
Listen, I love me some T-Swizzle, and I'm a certified Swiftie, but I'm selling this one. Millipedes freak me out, man. Look at that. That's way too many legs. What are they doing with all of them? I think they're committing felonies or putting hallucinogens in the water supply, or leaving those really aggressive notes from senior citizens on the cars in the chapel parking lot. I'm not a fan. There are so many better things to be named after. There's that cute little trash sweeping car with the spinning brushes in Nashville, and they're holding a naming contest for it. One of the suggestions is Taylor Swept. That's fantastic, although my personal favorite is Trash Lorette, and I think that says a lot that being named after a trash sweeper is better than being named after a millipede, so.
Out marketing campaign, because if we've learned anything about Disney or what we've talked about so far, it's all about marketing and making money. So I'm buying this because I think a Chandler line of millipedes that we could release into the world would bring me a lot of fame and promotion. You know, and get my name out there. Hey! You get my name out there in the youth ministry world, and hopefully I lose a couple thousands of them on the best churches of Christ in the area to promote myself after my stint at Mount Juliet. So I'm buying this. I think you're foolish not to.
Weird. All right, let's so, just very simply, Disney Plus released Obi-Wan Kenobi series a couple of months ago. I guess it was the beginning of June, late May. And they're deciding, I guess, it's still kind of up in the air whether or not there'll be a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Are you buying or selling a season 2 of Obi-Wan? Chandler?
I'm going to buy that because I think what the world needs is more. We need more. Let's see. How to say this? We need more Disney. We need more Star Wars, but we need it on the right particular characters. You know, we've seen too much. We've had all we want of Rey and those horrible new trilogy. We need to take it. It's what we need to do. We need to take it back to the basics. We need more Qui-Gon Jinn. We need more Obi-Wan Kenobi. Be a great Darth Maul spin-off series, something like that. We need to go back to the basics and just distance ourselves from these new movies. Is what I'm saying.
All right, Buck.
I'm selling this. Kenobi was a great show, don't get me wrong. But if you look at Star Wars A New Hope, at the beginning of it, Kenobi's an old man and a hermit. No one knows who he is. And in order to do that, they have to start somewhere. So I think they should start now because it ended in a good spot for that. And if I wanted to watch a guy grow old and become a hermit, I would just watch David Mitton right now. And that doesn't seem too appealing to me. So what I think you should do is, like Chandler said, maybe make a show about Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. I think that would be awesome. And get away from those nasty, horrible movies with Rose and Rey and all that. I don't even want to go there. And so I think they should stop now and go back in time and make a Qui-Gon or Darth Maul movie.
All right, Anna.
What a couple of creative and revolutionary takes. Thank you so much, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna sell this one because I haven't watched Obi-Wan yet for reasons similar to those of all the Marvel series. Like, one of the reviews called it predictable but fun, which is how I feel when Philip gets free reign on the themes for camp, 2 of which have already been Star Wars themed. Honestly, the main reason I'm against another season of Obi-Wan is because I just don't know. Stop taking points away. Is he taking? Anyways. Where was I? The main reason I'm against another season of Obi-Wan is because I just don't know how many more superstar team mascots we can create from the Star Wars universe without getting really questionable, like the yellow Tatooine sand, or the white old Obi-Wan Kenobi's hair, or the blue Force holograms. There's just, I don't know what else there's left to scrape off of the Star Wars universe.
Okay, it is time for the showdown, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Anna Davidson, who will be leading the board. Sorry.
No!
But stick around, Anna. We'll see you in just a minute. We're going to reset the scores here in just a second. And it is time for the showdown where the top 2 scorers will face off. Let's get it going. Put your hands together. It's time for the showdown. All right, without giving away any spoilers, Season 4 of Stranger Things featured a song that would rescue people from being trapped in the Upside Down. Chandler, what would be your rescue song?
My rescue song, without a doubt, would be Miss O'Leary. I think it's easy to sing, it's fun, you can get everyone involved, we can teach it to mass amounts of people. We can sing that on loop until we sing everybody home. My idea is that we have people singing Miss O'Leary nonstop in shifts. Bill Wagner is on 24-hour standby like a fireman ready to come sing Miss O'Leary to save people. I'm going with Miss O'Leary to save people from the Upside Down.
All right, Buckner, you.
I'm going with Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. This is one of my favorite songs. It can fit almost any scenario. If you need to get hyped, this song is awesome. If you need a song for a wedding, this song could be awesome. If you need a song to welcome your newborn baby into the world, this song would be awesome. And finally, if you need to welcome someone to a jungle, what better song than Welcome to the Jungle? Overall, this song is awesome. It fits almost every occasion, and I think it could bring everyone back from the Upside Down.
All right, convinces the superior house pet, cats versus dogs. Buckner.
Both are good, but I'm a cat guy. Dogs are too needy. You have to walk them. You have to bathe them. You have to
Becky, I'm above it.
get someone to watch them whenever you go anywhere. Cats can bathe themselves. Cats can take care of themselves. And for all you people that say cats don't love you, you've obviously never had a cat. That they will love you in different ways, just like a dog.
He's not ashamed. He's not ashamed. Chandler.
Alright, I think all cat lovers and cat people are products of child neglect because they like an animal who does not love them nor care about them.
Never had a cat.
First of all, listen, I have had a cat. I have had a cat before. His name was Baby. It ran away. This comes from a place of hurt.
I was going to say there may be some emotional baggage attached to this tape.
Cats have been known to, when their owners die in the home, to just immediately start eating their corpses. Cats steal babies' breath. They come and pounce you in your sleep. But the biggest thing with cats is that they are unloving. They don't care about you. They see you as a simple source of food and providing means for them. Dogs, on the other hand, love you. They care about you. They want your affection. They want to be there for you in the hard times. Cats only will love you when they allow you to love you.
And attack you!
Even though I'm afraid Laura Alford is going to riot, I'm going to give Chandler the point. All right, last point here. Amazon announced that Alexa could mimic the voice of dead relatives. Is this a creepy function or is it a sweet function? All right, send it home, Chandler.
I'm going to go with, I think this is on the creepier side. You know, I don't want to be laying in bed and hear the voice of my dead great uncle speaking to me while I sleep. I don't want to have him as an alarm or turning off lights for me. I'm going with creepy. I don't want any of my dead ancestors. Like, how far would they go back? Where do they determine where the line is? You know, if I get my ancient Mexican grandparents going to be yelling at me in Spanish, no, I don't want that. This is creepy. I don't want any part of undead Alexa. And I think you're weird if you do.
But
I'm going creepy as well. Alexa already listens to everything as it is, and I don't want my dead grandma responding to my questions. Like, I just don't want it. I agree with Chandler, everything he said, so there you go.
I gotta base it on the body of work that took place today. I've got to give the win to Buckner, who did his homework, brought statistics, all kinds of great tapes. All right, Buck, it is time for FaceTime. We declare you the winner. Give it up for Ethan Buckner, everybody. Ethan, you have 30 seconds of FaceTime to talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't know if you were expecting this win or not today, but go ahead.
This is fun. Yeah, but back to the cat thing. Cats are awesome. I had a cat for 20 years that lived as long as I did. Died last summer. It was a great cat. She always loved me. I tortured that thing and she still came back to me. And so, for all of you that don't like cats, I advise you to try a cat out once. Maybe go to the animal shelter and play with the cats. Spay and neuter your pets to control the pet population. Thank you all for coming here today and have a good one.
What's your cat's name?
Gracie.
Gracie. May she rest in peace. Give it up for Ethan Buckner, today's winner. And finally, we have one more last question. Can you share, but we think about our theme this week of Spirit Lead Me. Can you share about a time when you felt like God's Spirit was leading you? This is probably an occasion where you spent a lot of time in prayer. Let's all hear from our contestants about an experience that they had like that. Let's hear from Anna.
I'm super disappointed because I had a great take on the dog thing, but aside from that, I think that honestly throughout high school, the Spirit was leading me, and it's leading me right now. I think this is something that'll be like pretty relevant to y'all like rising juniors, rising seniors, because just for example, with my like college decision process, I truly believe that God shut the doors that weren't right for me and opened the one that was right for me as wide as he possibly could. And I also think that, and this kind of goes back to what Caitlin said this morning, there's a lot happening in high school and it can get pretty overwhelming. Just a lot of change, a lot of extracurriculars, homework, whatever you're doing. And I think the one constant like thread that was sewn throughout all of my experience was the Spirit leading me back to this youth group and making that intentional choice to remain here and to like pray in the Spirit. So I think the Spirit led me because I allowed him to. So definitely.
When I first heard this question, I thought about back a few years ago when I was making my decision on where to go to school, college. I was going to my senior year, didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. I was considering trade school and all this, and I just prayed about it a lot. And eventually, my choices narrowed down between Freed-Hardeman and Harding, and eventually Freed-Hardeman came down to be the winner. And I chose to study business, and I thank God every day for leading me down this path that I'm on, and the relationships I've formed, and the amount of faith I've grown since I've been there. And I couldn't have done any of it without him and prayer and all of that. So.
I definitely think about years ago when I was looking for an internship. I didn't know where I was going to end up, and I really, I hoped and I was praying that there would just be a good opportunity for me. And that's when the opportunity opened up for me to come to MJ for my first summer during the height of COVID. And I think that God really worked through all of that because of how awesome of a summer we had during such a weird time for everybody. And then, after that, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to come back the next summer. And I think I prayed a lot about that. I got to come back the next summer. And now I'm here this summer, and I'm getting to be here, the next 2 years. So I think that was definitely, most certainly, God's hand in my life and His Spirit leading me to be here with you guys. And so I'm the most thankful for that. This is this is the best job in the world. I love it. And I think all of that is definitely attributed to God and the Spirit.
Very good. Give it up for everybody today on Around the Horn. It was wonderful. Wonderful job. That is all the time we have for Around the Horn. We're going to take a 5-minute break. And guess what? That's it. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Thank you.